Hey, Fanboy Nation.
This is your pal Daffy Duck, and you're watching.
We're watching Fanboy.
A fanboy, etc.
Fanboy Nation.
Dot, I assume Tom.
Good morning, everyone. How's it going?
Good.
Congratulations on Heels. The show is fantastic. I am an old school wrestling fan, as everybody else in the room has been, that's been bothering you all morning. Chris was accused of hijacking Michael P.S.'s Hayes character, which I heard he denied. Although there is quite a bit of Ric Flair in there. Mary's character, a little bit of Stephanie McMahon, a little bit of Eric Bischoff going on. You know, what was it like being a part of this film? And Mary, this is 25 years, almost to the day, of Private Parts. So congratulations on that anniversary.
Thanks. I can't believe it's been that long. That's an upsetting number.
Well, you know, take us through the process of the show. I mean, this takes place in Georgia. It's, you know, it's an old school wrestling town. The town is falling apart. There's not much going on. You know, Atlanta's not that far away, but this is completely in the shadow of the big city. Yeah. What's it like being in a rural area and then telling a story of this that's practically a Greek tragedy?
That's one of the things that I really loved about it. When I first got the script, I thought, oh, has that similar appeal that Friday Night Lights does, where it's, you know, where something like a sport, football and Friday Night Lights and wrestling in this becomes the backbone of the town. Like everything is filtered through that. You know, the whole identity is sort of woven into the town's identity. And I loved that when I watched Friday Night Lights, and I loved getting to sort of experiment and play with that here. It was one of my favorite things about the script.
Chris, for yourself, your character is a bit of an anti-hero at times, switching between what they say in wrestling as heel and face. How great is that you're not purely a bad guy, you're not purely a good guy, and you have your character has his own demons going along in the series?
Well, it's that's the best, isn't it? I mean, it's like you know, a heel turn, a face turn, when, you know, like sort of late Stone Cold. I love still watching the progress of Stone Cold Austin and how amazing he was in the ring once he had made that sort of flip. And I think Wild Bill's at that place where he has the kind of vocabulary of the heel, but the charisma. This is where the flair comes in, the charisma of a face in a way. And you love, you know, it's supposed to be you love to hate him, but you love to love him because he's so bad. And all those things you mentioned went into the recipe for it. And the fact that this is sort of taking place in this little town, Duffy, Georgia, the town in a way is like a wrestling fan, in that a true wrestling fan, the only thing going on is wrestling. And that's all that's going on in this town too. So trying to get out of it, people trying to work their way up into something. One of the great things about Wild Bill is he's come back down from having made it, and he's been eaten alive by it. I think he's trying to keep it inside, but obviously his body's breaking down, his lifestyle's getting to him. And it really kind of suggests the abstract sort of idea that this place we're all trying to get to, is it really where we want to go, or do we want to stay here? And I think that's what Wild Bill's sort of bringing to the town right now in the show. All
right. I know I only have time for 2 more questions, so I'm going to lump them together. Your characters have a torrid past, shall we say, a previous entanglement. You know, is there a person that you would actually want to go back to at some point from one of those toxic relationships? And 2, if you were both professional wrestlers and had the opportunity to be in the industry in your prime, what would your character have been like?
I don't want to go back to any of the toxic relationships I had. I think hopefully I've learned my lesson. I'm going to keep my eyes where, you know, forward growth. That was part 1, right? What was part 2? What would my character be?
What would your wrestling character be?
I don't know. I mean, maybe my brother's nickname for me is Tough Love. So I think Willie probably, and that's a little like Willie as well. So maybe I'd be Tough Love. I don't know what that would, I don't know what my gimmick would be, or I've got a pretty good moonwalk. Maybe I've got an 80s jam going on. I'm not sure. Still cooking it up.
So you're the one stealing Michael Hayes' character.
Yeah, that's it.
I only revisit toxic relationships when I can't fall asleep. Somehow it just it helps me. If my wrestling character would sort of be like when Undertaker was sort of in the preacher phase, but an actual preacher, but a sort of that like vigilante violent preacher from the Old West. But I would also hope to add the kind of everyman insanity of mankind.
I love it. Thank you so much for your time. Heels premieres August 15th on STARZ. I can't wait for everybody to see it. We saw the first half, and now I can't wait to see the back half.
Great.
Thanks,
Thank
man.
you.
Thank you.